Today, we embark on a journey not just to list the top 10 most violent countries in the Caribbean for the past year, but to delve deeper into the heart of these societies, unraveling the threads of violence and seeking the light of solutions. Join us as we navigate through the turbulent waters of crime, seeking hope and resilience in the face of adversity. Let's uncover the truth, understand the pain, and envision a future where peace reigns supreme in this paradise under the sun. In 2023, the crime rate in the Caribbean has been on an erratic trend, and we thought it important to update you on the trends experienced throughout the region. We are going to take a look at those countries experiencing the worst crime, ranked by the number of homicides per 100,000 people, along with the serious assault rate, and in the end, examine what we can do to overcome it. This is not just a list, but a call to awareness, a moment to reflect on these stories often left untold. It is very important to note, however, that overall, the entire Caribbean region is generally considered a safe destination for travelers. While certain statistics may highlight crime in small pockets of the region, these incidents are often localized and do not typically affect tourist areas. The Caribbean islands are known for their strong focus on tourism, and as such, they maintain a high level of security in areas frequented by visitors. Many of the islands have been listed among the safest to visit in 2024. The tourist regions are often well patrolled and have established infrastructures to ensure the safety and comfort of visitors. Additionally, the economies of these islands are heavily reliant on tourism, motivating local governments and communities to create a secure and welcoming environment for tourists. Therefore, your trip to the Caribbean should not be overly influenced by crime statistics, as the experience of tourists is generally very different from the broader crime trends that might be present in non-tourist areas. So join us as we delve into the complexity of crime in the Caribbean. But before we get started with our countdown, it is important to understand how we measure and analyze violence to determine our top 10 list of the most violent Caribbean countries or territories. Violence is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that can manifest in various forms, and measuring it requires a combination of quantitative and qualitative methods. There are several indicators we use to measure violence in the region, and we employ the combination of two key metrics. The first and primary indicator we take into account is the two violent crime rates: the homicide rate, which is the number of homicides per 100,000 people, and the serious assault rate, which similarly is the number of assaults and batteries per 100,000 people. Both of these figures are provided by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime and each country's reporting. The secondary indicator will be the Global Peace Index, which is a comprehensive measure developed by the Institute for Economics and Peace that assesses the relative peacefulness of countries and regions worldwide. The index uses 23 quantitative and qualitative indicators into three main categories: 1. Crime and the level of societal safety; 2. Ongoing domestic and international conflict; and 3. The degree of police and militarization. This index gives a much more holistic idea of which countries are peaceful, with the lower the score meaning the more peaceful the country. By combining these indexes, we aim to present a balanced view of violence in the region. While the homicide and assault rates offer direct insights into violent crime, the Global Peace Index provides context and depth, considering factors like societal safety and conflict. We acknowledge that no single metric can capture the full complexity of violence, but together, these indicators can provide a robust framework for our analysis. While we recognize that not everyone may agree with our list, we strive to be fair, unbiased, and just, basing our rankings on the reported statistics from these countries, as they provide the most reliable and objective measures available to us. To kick off our list in the number 10 slot, we have one of the smallest nations in the Caribbean in terms of population. With a population of only 72,000 people, Dominica is not only one of the smallest countries in the Caribbean, but also in the world. It is also the safest country on our list, with a number count for 2023 at just 16. This equates to a homicide rate of 19 per 100,000 people, which is on par with the previous year of 15 homicides. While there was no major increase in the violent crime rate or the homicide rate, Dominica still faces a tough task ahead, particularly as it faces scrutiny for its affordable passport and its use by organized crime to fuel violence both inside the Caribbean and globally. In the number 9 spot is St. Lucia. Unfortunately, in recent years, the island of St. Lucia has seen an increase in violent crimes. For the year 2023, there were 75 homicides in the country, whose population is only 180,000 people. This means the country has a homicide rate of 21 per 100,000 people. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force (RSLPF) has revealed that most of the murders that occurred in 2023 were the direct result of gang violence and gang rivalry, stating in a news conference that 37 murders were gang-related. Of the remaining cases, 25 cases were unknown, 5 were domestic violence-related, 2 were the result of altercations, and there was 1 case of robbery that resulted in the death of an individual. The latest violent crime rate in the country was 38.96, which was a 38% jump from the previous year. However, this number was from 2021 and no newer numbers have been provided. And dropping drastically this year, we have our Caribbean neighbor in Central America, Belize. The aggregate number of homicides recorded in 2023 stood at 87 at the end of the year, which equates to a homicide rate of 21.3 per 100,000 people. This is down from a rate of 25 just last year and must be hailed as a great step in the right direction. In a statement to the public from the Belize Police Department, its police commissioner lauded the work that his force has been doing to combat crime in the country, as the country hit the lowest murder count in 16 years back in 2006. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams has reiterated that this has been his objective since assuming command of the department several years ago, and that consistency is not the key. Coming in right above Belize in our number 7 spot, we have the Bahamas, which has seen a marked improvement in its crime rates this year. Preliminary figures have placed the number of murders for 2023 at 97, meeting the Commissioner of Police's goal of under 100 homicides for 2023. At 97 murders for a population of 407,000, its murder rate for the year was 23.8 per 100,000 people, down from 31.4 from the previous year 2022, when the country had 128 homicides. Additionally, the country has seen an improvement in the number of violent crimes, especially when compared to the previous year when in March 2022, the nation recorded its deadliest month in history with 22 murders. There is still much work for the country to do, but this year has been an improvement for yet another Caribbean country on the right track. Next up on our list at the number 6 spot is Trinidad and Tobago, which has been rocked by increasing gang violence, leaving many concerned and distressed about the levels of domestic violence in the country. Trinidad and Tobago's homicide rate for 2023 stands at 30 per 100,000 people, and with a global peace index score of 1.95, safety and security are seen as the country's biggest concern. In 2023, Trinidad had 576 homicides for a population of 1.5 million. However, things may be improving as back in July 2023, 2 of Trinidad and Tobago's largest gangs agreed to a truce after nearly a month of reprisal killings. It might be for this reason that the country has seen a 5% decrease in homicides from the 605 in 2022. By the way, if you're finding value in this video and our deep dive into the complexities of crime in the Caribbean, please take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us to continue bringing important content like this to you. Thank you for watching and being part of our community. Next up on our list, we highlight a territory, not a country, but is still a part of the Caribbean. At the number 5 spot, the U.S. Virgin Islands, known as a Caribbean paradise for many U.S. citizens, experienced an increase in murders for the year 2023, with a reported 34 murders for the year 2023, up from the previous year of 2022. While 34 murders for the year 2023 may not seem like a lot, the population of the U.S. Virgin Islands is only 105,000 people, meaning the country has a homicide rate of 32 per 100,000 people. It is important to note, however, that the U.S. Virgin Islands is an overseas territory of the United States. We pivot to a country that has been ravaged by increasing crime and violence, as well as political and economic uncertainty. Back in 2021, Haiti saw the assassination of its leader Jovenel Moïse, and since then, the country has only slipped into deeper turmoil. While official figures are yet to be announced, unofficial numbers have put the murder rate at approximately 4,700 people. With a population of 11.5 million people, this is a homicide rate of 40.9 per 100,000 people. In addition to such a high homicide rate, Haiti also scores low on the Global Peace Index with 2.4, placing it among countries like South Africa, Burundi, and Guinea. In addition to a significant number of murders, gang-related violence has led to an increase in people who have been kidnapped, with another 3,000 such occurrences in 2023. According to the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, the situation in Haiti is catastrophic as the UN continues to receive reports of killings, sexual violence, displacement, and other violence. Coming in at our number 3 slot, we have the country that scored the second lowest on the Global Peace Index, Jamaica. Jamaica in 2023 continued to see high crime rates in certain parts of the country, with a homicide rate of 49.7 per 100,000 people, making it one of the highest in the world. The Jamaica Constabulary Force reported that 1,393 people were murdered in Jamaica last year for a population of 2.8 million. When it comes to the Global Peace Index, Jamaica scores 1.98, on par with other countries such as Bolivia, the UAE, and China. However, like the trend you have seen throughout this list in many other countries, Jamaica is also seeing a reduction in violence from the previous year. The latest update published by the police shows that 118 fewer homicides were committed in 2023 than in 2022. The government has taken steps to address crime in the country, with Prime Minister Andrew Holness citing the government's investment in the security forces as a first step towards bringing crime and violence under control. In the number 2 spot on our list, we go to a country that has had one of its worst years ever as it relates to crime rates, particularly among violent crime and murder. And that is St. Kitts and Nevis. In January, authorities officially confirmed that there had been 31 murders in 2023, equating to a homicide rate of 64.6 per 100,000 people for a population of just 48,000 people. This has resulted in a disheartening record for the highest number of murders in a single year since 2011. The alarming spike in murders has propelled St. Kitts and Nevis back into international headlines, as the country now finds itself listed among the nations with the highest per capita murder rates in both the Caribbean and the world. This stark contrast comes years after relative success in crime reduction under the previous government, which witnessed an average of around 11 murders annually between 2018 and 2022. And in the unenviable position at number 1, we have the country with the highest homicide rate per capita in the Caribbean for 2023, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Unfortunately, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is becoming a more dangerous place to live, as the country's police force reported record amounts of crime in 2023. The acting commissioner of police revealed the country had 55 murders in 2023 for a population of just 104,000 people. This equates to a homicide rate for 2023 of 52 per 100,000 and is the highest in St. Vincent and the Grenadines' recent history. Additionally, the police received 4,133 reports of criminal offenses in 2023, which was 1.5% more than in 2022. To address the country's slide into more violence, the police commissioner Enville Williams said members of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, RSVGPF, will receive training from an experienced homicide detective from the United Kingdom. The top cop said the detective would, quote, bring the necessary training and knowledge base to our investigators to equip them to deal with complex offenses that we have started seeing, unquote. With most of the murders also coming from illegal firearms that have flooded the country's streets, steps have been made to reduce the trafficking of guns, with the police revealing they seized 29 firearms and 290 rounds of ammunition. Whatever the steps needed to improve public safety, we pray that 2024 will be a safer year for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Check out this video on the top 10 safest Caribbean islands to visit or live. The level of violence in the Caribbean in 2023 paints a complex portrait of challenges, resilience, and the urgent need for comprehensive solutions. The region, celebrated for its breathtaking beauty and rich cultural diversity, grapples with the harsh reality of crime that impacts all countries. While many countries have seen improvements in the level of violence in 2023, there remains much work to be done, with many countries seeing increases in the rates of violence and societal unrest. As we've explored the top 10 most violent Caribbean countries of 2023, let us also understand that addressing these issues requires a nuanced understanding of the underlying factors contributing to violence. Crime and violence are often driven by socio-economic disparities, organized crime, or historical complexities, and a comprehensive plan to address crime is needed, one which goes beyond simply stronger law enforcement. Only through such collaborative and multifaceted initiatives can the Caribbean communities strive towards a future where the warmth of the sun is mirrored in the warmth of harmonious and secure societies. Here are 6 actionable solutions that we think can be implemented to address and solve some of the crime problems in our region. 1. Addressing underlying social and economic issues. Tackling the root causes of crime such as poverty, unemployment, and lack of education is crucial. About 40% of the Caribbean population identifies crime and security-related issues as major concerns, often linked to youth unemployment. 2. Strengthening law enforcement and the justice system. Improving the efficiency and effectiveness of law enforcement agencies and the judicial system can help in better crime control and faster justice delivery. 3. Community policing and engagement. Investing in community policing strategies can help build trust between the police and communities, leading to better crime reporting and prevention. 4. Preventing youth violence. Focusing on youth programs that provide education, skills training, and positive outlets can reduce youth involvement in crime. 5. Documenting and sharing successful models. Sharing successful models and solutions across the region to reduce youth crime, violence, and recidivism rates can be beneficial. And 6. Creative solutions and regional cooperation. Thinking outside the box and regional cooperation among Caribbean countries can lead to innovative solutions tailored to the unique challenges of each country. Implementing these solutions requires a coordinated effort from governments, law enforcement, community organizations, and international partners. But we can and must address these issues. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this matter. What do you think of the solutions we've discussed? Do you have any other ideas or experiences that could contribute to this conversation? Please leave your comments below and let's keep this important dialogue going. Your insights are invaluable to us and our community. And if you haven't already, please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for being an active part of our discussion today. This is Caribbean Focus by Jairi.